Hey kids, for this video today we're going to be making a light up constellation using some pretty simple little LEDs, these guys here, and we're going to be using some aluminum foil as our wires and a simple little coin cell battery. Alright, let's get started. So the base for our project is going to be a plain white piece of paper. So here we have the piece of paper, and the first thing you want to do when you set this up is you want to determine where your battery is going to be. So here I'm going to locate my battery right here, and I'm going to put a little circle around this. Alright, so this is going to just tell me approximately where I want this battery to be. Now to make a simple switch, what we're going to do is we're going to fold over this end of the paper to cover up that battery location, and then this fold right here later on after we make our circuit is actually what's going to function as our switch to allow us to open and close this circuit. Alright, so now that that is set, now we can sketch out our constellation. So for my constellation I have chose Ursa Major, which I downloaded a picture from the internet right here just to use as a reference. So what you want to do is just take a look at your constellation and then sketch it onto your page here. So I'm going to kind of just do this freehand and you want to put a little circle everywhere where you have a major star in your constellation. Okay, here we go. And it looks like I'm making this maybe just perfect. It's going to just get to the edge of the paper. There we go. Alright, so there is my sketch for Ursa Major. Some of you also know this portion right here as the Big Dipper. Okay guys, so we have our constellation sketched out on the paper here. The next step is to lay out our circuits. So what I'm going to do is just sketch out my circuit in pencil. If you look here at the coin cell battery, there's the positive side. I normally do positive side down. So let's just kind of lay that in there. Alright, so this is going to be my positive side. And what you want to do is you want to map it out to come up alongside of each of your lights. Okay, and paying close attention to the fact that you cannot cross these wires. You cannot cross the positive and the negative wire. Okay, so one thing I forgot to mention before that I need to mention to you guys is when we get these LEDs, they have a positive and a negative, so which means the term is polarized. So if you can see here, one of these wires is actually longer than the other, the bottom one, and the way I have them all lined up here on my desk is all of them with the positives on the bottom, so you don't cross them. If you put these things in upside down, cross the wires, they will not work. Alright, so again, positive is this one on the bottom, negative is the one on the top. You could see I use blue painter's tape so that I can see where the tape is so that I don't have an insulating condition. The tape doesn't like insulate us from making contact. So I'm just going to test this real quick. Okay, so we have light, so positives on the bottom, negatives on the top. So we're going to go through real quick. We're going to bend these things out. We're going to put them on like this. Make sure that they make contact and take a little piece of tape. And this doesn't have to be perfect because again this is going to all be covered up later on. Alright, so I'm going to put the rest of these lights on and we'll go to the next step. Okay guys, so I finished taping on all the LEDs. As you can see, it's lots of little pieces of blue painter's tape. We use the blue painter's tape so that you can see where the tape is and where the tape isn't, so that you can make sure to get connectivity when you touch your wires. You always want the wire to be going right to the aluminum foil, not to the tape. So I'm going to just give it a quick test. Some of these guys are a little bit funky, need to be wiggled a little bit to get the contact, but you get the point. So the next step is to put your piece of black construction paper beneath this guy here, and what we're going to do is we're going to use a small sharp object to make holes beneath each of our LED lights. So what I'm using is just a little miniature screwdriver. I'm just going to take this and I'm going to poke it through the white paper and the black paper underneath. Okay, I use an old mouse pad underneath here. It's nice and soft so the screwdriver can go through. So we're going to poke through on each of these. Okay guys, so I poked all my holes through the black paper. I enlarged them with the tip of a mechanical pencil, and then I pushed the black paper over all the lights, pushed them through, and then you could see here when you activate your switch, you have the constellation. So there it is. And if you want to be fancy, you could even take a Crayola and color in the lines, but I kind of like mine like this. It looks a little bit more like it looks in the sky. So thanks for watching, and look for us on the next video.